Welcome back to another Chef Knives to Go Quick Look product review. I'm Steve Gamache, and what we have this time is the Harukaze VG-1 Sujihiki 270mm knife. So the Suji for short is a slicing knife. They are double bevel, ground on both sides for ambidextrous use, so they're not single bevel like a Yanagiba would be. So they make these out of VG-1 full stainless steel. This steel is going to be easy to sharpen. Heat treats probably 59 to 60 Rockwell. It's not one of the real high, kind of alloy type steels, but it would do a really nice job. It's very forgiving. It's not super hard. The construction is mono steel, so they basically take probably a stamp out and laser cut a piece of steel out of a slab, and then it's ground to shape. And so these will be pretty consistent from knife to knife on the shape and dimensions, and the weight might vary based on the handle a little bit, but they'll be pretty similar. So this one's 151 grams or 5.3 ounces with this handle. The edge length is right about 270 millimeters or about 10.6 inches, and then the overall length's about 425 millimeters. The thickness on these are about 2.3-ish millimeters in the back, towards the back of the heel, and then I got about 2 millimeters halfway down, and then it does have a bit of a taper. The grind kind of kicks in. There's not a delineation line on the grind, but it just sort of comes down towards the edge. So these get pretty thin towards the tip. You can see the performance on these is going to be good. That's a pretty thin tip right there. And then here is the edge profile. Or I should say not edge profile, but the choil shot, so you can see how it's ground. Fit and finish is nicely done on these. There's a little bit of, the only issue I would have, there's a little bit of a sharp edge on the choil into the neck, so if that bothers you, you may need to take a little sandpaper, kind of shoe shine, little strips of sandpaper, and you can shoe shine that down pretty quickly. The spine, they've relieved a little bit of that as well, though some people might want more taken off the edge of that. Other than that, the fit and finish is quite well done. Let's see here. Blade height is right about 40 millimeters at the back. And so the neck's not particularly wide, so you've got pretty good ground clearance there if you want to use this on a cutting board, not a problem. The handles are well done, oval, ambidextrous, walnut with a maple ferrule. Real nice fit and finish, super smooth here on this one. Good tight glue up joint where the tang goes into the handle, so just nicely done on that. A balance point on these is right about there, so for me, that's just about on the money for a pinch grip, so it's going to be pretty neutral from that point of view. I guess let's get our beauty shot here. So, machine finish, it looks like on the sanding marks go vertically. Try not to get my fingerprints all over this. You've got laser etched kanji on the right side of the blade. And then here is the left side of the blade. It is unadorned. See a fair amount of polish to it. Again, the spine, they've done some finish work to it. They've taken a little bit off the edge. They really haven't done a whole lot with the choil back here. You can see kind of the rough finish to it, and then they haven't taken much off the edge. So if that bothers you, you can clean that up. That would be a pretty easy job to do and take care of that. The fit and finish otherwise is very well done. Nice grind on these. It's a nice straight blade. The out of the box edge, I'll give it a 5 out of 10. It's pretty sharp, but it's got a fairly coarse edge on it, so it's not a very high grit level finish on the edge bevel. Let's look at the cutting board profile here. So this will have a fair amount of belly towards the tip, so this will rock actually pretty darn well. And then they've got a pretty good flat spot in the back half of the blade, so it kind of flows into a stop. So you could totally do some board work with this. Sorry, my camera's having trouble focusing there. But you could totally do board work with this, not a problem, if you wanted to employ it that way. Definitely will push, pull cut, glide cut, rock cut, chop in the back half. So actually a really versatile profile on this. So if you're looking for something, you're looking for a slicer, you don't want to spend a ton of money, but you want good quality, decent steel, nice geometry on it, good edge profile. This is a neat feature. And by the way, this the way that they put the handle on, where a little bit of the tang shows, is kind of what they call Tokyo style. There's nothing incorrect about that. It's like an old school install back there. So, that's not a mistake. It's just a nod to an old school type install for the tang, and pretty darn cool looking in my personal opinion. But so don't say, hey, there's something wrong with the install here. It's not. It's an intentional choice. So there we have the Harukaze VG-1 Sujihiki 270mm knife.